It's time to go infinite with Murozond Zarimi Priest. Now, the idea behind this deck is actually quite simple. We're essentially going to be using Murozond as a new win condition for Zarimi Priest. Since we're going to be skipping our opponent's turn, we can easily get infinite attack on this minion, and as long as our opponent doesn't have a lot of taunts, we should be able to well into our opponent's face, and there's nothing that they can do to stop us. To achieve this, we also run Ceaseless Expanse as a way to get rid of any pesky taunts our opponent may have. Now, for the Mulligan guide of list, you are going to be looking for any of your early game dragons, such as Ship or Whelp. Then you're going to be looking for draw power cards, such as Scale Replica. And finally, you're going to be looking for removal tools, such as Flying Off the Shelves. Now, with that all being said, let's look at some games. Okay, Warlock. I am kind of interested in seeing which Warlock list this is going to be. I'm hoping it isn't Quest. Honestly speaking, I haven't really played too many games yet. I've tried a few other lists before I tried this one out, just because I wanted to see if there was a deck that really spoke to me, and then I was like, you know what? I really want to do something with Murozond, and I think this would be the best opportunity to rush this one out compared to some of the other lists that I could do, just because, I don't know. I want to be able to clickbait doing infinite damage, or some dumb thing, right? I don't know if it'll be the next deck on the channel, but it'll definitely be sometime in the first week. We're going to do a Cinder Ghostal quest list, though it's going to vary quite a bit probably from the initial version of the list that I put out in the initial Theorycraft video. We'll see though. We'll definitely see. There are a few other things that I might be looking at too. I really do want to do something with Corona and Druid in particular, because I do have that signature. Oh, it is the Rafaam deck. Good, good. Man, that animation is never not gonna mess with me. Oh, I also have seen some people actually having some luck with Divergent Warlock, which I am not shocked at all. That is actually a deck. That is a deck that I expected to be something, just because, again, like, that's something that a lot of people don't realize, that people usually look to improve the decks that they already have access to over trying, like, the new cards. At least when it comes to, like, competitive Hearthstone. Which I guess is for better or worse, right? But, I have some really fun, goofy ideas, but this week, we probably will do, like, more competitive lists like this one. So far, this deck has been doing pretty well. And honestly, the one game that I have lost with the deck, so far at least, was completely my fault. Like, if I had played it a little bit differently. Actually, it was against Rafaam Warlock too. I miscounted my mana. If I had, like, counted my mana right, I would have won before they slammed down Rafaam. I kind of want to keep Elise. I guess we can swap. I don't feel like this is, like, the correct play. Okay, that part definitely wasn't the correct play. We also probably should have destroyed that. But we could take the 7 damage, I think. The deck we're facing against is slow, so... Okay. Okay. We got everything but Zarimi in our hand. I'm curious. I'm curious if people will start running Dirty Rat because of this deck and also the Rafaam deck. I think the Rafaam deck suffers from the fact that, like, it actually makes your deck a little bit less consistent. Like, it's the coolest Warlock deck, but I have a sneaking suspicion Shreds of Time is just going to be, like, a really good aggro deck, and probably will actually dethrone the Quest Warlock list, if I had to guess. Which would suck, but, like, I guess it wouldn't suck. It's a brand new deck, right? We'll see, though. Okay. We can AoE the board, discover a spell. Hopefully something like AoE. Actually, no, let's just pass it. I don't want to use it right now because it summons the minions, and I want to use that as removal tools if we can. The fact that we can get up to 20 mana in this game is going to be fun, though. Okay, we can do Ysera. And do this. I was really hoping that we would... what do we actually want to grab here? I think the illusion just to try to draw into something good. Okay, the repackaging is useful for next turn. Probably. Actually, maybe we don't want to give them... Oh, Moonwell is actually good. Champions is funny, though. Champions is really funny. But Moonwell is probably the play. And then just trade. Might as well hero power and then pass it back. I will say this, though, like, so I put out the day one video, well, I mean, time of recording the same day, right? But, like, honestly, I think I'm getting better at making decks. I don't know about y'all, but it feels like I'm getting a little bit better in the long run. I definitely think some of those decks are probably bait and just funny, goofy decks, but those decks are 1000% me, right? But yeah, there's definitely a difference between, like, and that's also kind of like the benefit of doing more decks than less decks is, like, I have a wider, like, assortment of decks and, like, possible ones that could be really good, right? And I've definitely had some luck with it so far. It also might be one of those videos that I'll, like, update the description and such for, like, more up-to-date lists too, probably. Okay, I'm just going to use Bob to draw 3. Hopefully the draw 3 is... Wait, how does this work? Oh, well then, that did not work how I wanted it to work, but that's okay. Perfect. We did not burn a card. That's good to know. But yeah, I'm really hyped with this deck. It's honestly fun. I don't know. So one downside. There is one downside. There is no quest credit for hitting your opponent with a a infinite amount minion. It actually doesn't progress your quest at all. Maybe it'll be fixed by the time this gets uploaded, but you never know. Okay, there's Illusion. Can drop a second one of these. Do I want to pass the turn? Yeah. Okay, there's Zarimi. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I'm so glad that we didn't end up getting the card last turn. I I think they're still missing a few Rafaam, so I don't think they can actually win this. I can't believe it. Oh, man. This deck feels so much more consistent than it reasonably should. Yes, heal yourself as much as humanly possible. It's not going to do much there, bud. All right, Gnarlax into Murozond into Zarimi. Might as well slam down this, and then it's time's up for you, buddy, pal. We can go beyond our limits into infinity. Okay, Mage. It's probably Quest Mage, I'd assume. It could also be Dragon Mage. Dragon Mage is cool. Probably one of the first decks that we're going to showcase on the channel. I think I'm going to make a little few differences between that and the initial Theorycraft one, but we'll get there when we get there. I think that deck has a lot of potential for like fun. Okay, I'm just going to slam this down. Hopefully they won't destroy it. Of course they would have it. I was hoping they wouldn't, but you know, it is whatever. Okay, let's buff this up and maybe, oh, that's probably actually just the best opportunity here. Also, I might steal the idea of using shield battery in the Dragon Quest Mage list that I was playing around with, or planning on playing around with. Just because, like, theoretically, I do like having the skaters in the list, but I think, honestly speaking, having shield battery as a way to get your, or get, like, additional removal tools, or just be able to survive early game is probably more important than surviving late game. Because I haven't ran into... I haven't ran into a lot of people running big minions that you can just freeze turn after turn. Because most of the time when someone's running a big minion, they're playing it from their hand, right? Like the druid list, the charged druid list is summoning the token from Chrono Boost and buffing it up a bajillion times. And then this deck has Murozond, but like you're never going to be able to interact with Murozond. Speaking of Murozond, actually, funny timing there, bud. Okay, going for the middle. Moonlight is actually kind of interesting here because Fly Off the Shelf then will do 3 damage apiece, which is cool. Okay. I'm just going to draw. That's not the one that I want. We're going to rewind this. Okay, that's not bad. I wish we had another dragon to, like, make use of it, but that's okay. Oh, well, actually, that's could be worse. Because we can slam this down. We use the coin. And make these Nagas fly away. Bye-bye. That was a very... very bad one of those spells. I don't think I've seen a worse. I mean, that worked out for us, I guess. Also, why I don't like the pure spell variant of Quest Mage. Double Battlecry probably doesn't matter too much, but Bob with Charge is funny. There's Origin Stone. Counterspell? I do need to get rid of the Clumsy Steward as quickly as humanly possible. That card just can't exist on their board. I'm sorry, but that... Nope, 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 nope. We ain't dealing with that shit. Please don't hit anything. That's fine. Okay, so it's probably Counterspell, I'd assume. You can draw a card, slam down another dragon, which will instantly be destroyed, and then we just pass it back to them, I guess. Good news. We can fly off the shelves next... Well, we'll probably do Thrive in the Shadow. Okay, so... Wait, hang on. Well, mana-wise. We can test... Okay. I don't... Sure, why not, right? I'm assuming this is going to be Counterspell. If not, then I am very impressed. Also, I'm very impressed with the coding of Elise's ability, because I would have assumed that would have just gobbled up all of the spell damage there, but I'm glad it did not. Okay. I mean, we do have repackaging. ×2, actually. We could survive if we... They only have one card in their hand, right? It's going to be Pocket Dimension, isn't it? I'm going to... Fingers crossed. Hope that isn't... It isn't... Yeah. 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 I would have been amazed if they could have done 50 damage in a single turn in that list. Okay, Illusion. Into Scaled Replica. That's actually pretty good. This should get Zarimi no matter what. I think. Wait, actually, no, it does not. I forgot Clay Monarch was in the list. That's my bad. I still like this deck a lot, though. Like, it does what it does. Well, I guess we're in for a wheel of fun, right? Repackage. Just repackage this board. Because we don't have Ceaseless Expanse, so we have to repackage the board to get rid of the taunts. And because normally we wouldn't have enough damage on the board otherwise. Yeah, I get they're going to be able to do 16 damage here, both to face. Oh, there's the Zarimi. I'm trying to think, is there a way for me to win the game this turn? I don't think there is. Actually, there probably was. Because what we could have done is we could have... Narlax, Murozond, Zarimi, and then pass the turn, Shaldrasil, and then get hopefully a bounce and such. Because our hand would be, like, way more empty. Okay, they got a taunt. Sure, shuffle those back into the deck. That's gonna save you, bud. That's so gonna save you. Okay, let's go beyond with infinity. Good thing Ice Block isn't in Standard, because bye-bye. All right, now we're through the game, so that's my final thoughts of the deck. So I ended up playing 20 games for the deck, ended up with a 60% win rate, which is pretty good. But if you're a fan of new cards, not be the best thing. This deck really only uses 3 brand new cards, the 2 Portal Vanguards and the 1 new Murozond. However, since this is the title card of the set, I figured people would probably still want to see this showcased on the channel, since who doesn't want to do infinite damage with a single minion? This card actually fixes a lot of the issues that I had before the set came out with this deck, where the deck felt like it was missing a big burst turn like it had before with the Briar Spawn combo that ended up getting nerfed. And Murozond easily replaces it, and it only takes up 1 card space in your deck, making this actually pretty consistent at what it does. Overall, if you're looking for a deck to use Murozond in, this is going to be the best deck that you can possibly play. And if you want to help out the channel a little bit more, there is the channel memberships. But if you can't do that, you can leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And special thanks to our current channel member of Daniel Nascimento. And like always, until next time, bye-bye.